Welcome to another day of Making It Happen. It's your girl Melly Haile.
It's your girl Holly Yusuf.
And I'm Simone Jackson. Let's make it happen.
Patient, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting.
Here he is. So Simone needs no introduction at all. But for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with my good friend Simone, she's a star soccer player here at USC. She's a student of the business of cinematic arts, and she has her own charity among so many other things. So all this at the ripe age of what, 20, right?
Yeah,
You're 20 years old?
Man, yes I am.
Wow.
That's insane. All this at
That's
the
a whole
ripe
resume.
age of 20. Right, that is a resume. So let's dive right into it. So you're a soccer player here at USC, number 80. So let us know, how did you start playing soccer? Where did that go about?
Oh man, I chose number 80 because I'm a big family person. Family is my why. Family is my everything. I started playing when I was 4 because my older cousin, who actually is another Pac-12 soccer athlete, I saw her. I was like, I want my family to come out and support me too. Like, I want attention. So I started at 4, and then I started club at 6 because my coach was like, oh, you can't pass the half. You need to let other people get a chance to score. I was like, my mom was like, that's enough of that. Like, let's go play competitively. So I started at a really young age, and then I got into the youth national team program at 14, and I've been in it ever since.
So what would you say is like the moment where it transitioned from like you wanting to like, you know, like playing soccer like not full time, you know, as a hobby versus like taking it serious and like making it a career?
I most definitely think it was around the time that I got invited to a U.S. soccer camp, because I didn't even know that U.S. soccer or like the Olympics or like playing women's soccer on a professional level was even a possibility. But once I saw it in front of my face and I was invited to the camp and I met professional athletes like Kristen Press and the works, I was like, whoa, like this is something that I can actually chase. I can see it. And once I saw it, I was like, it's game over now.
Oh, that's so cool. What age was that?
I was 14, 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you said family is really big for you. It's your why. It's your, you know, how. And we know that you have a really strong familial legacy here at USC. So for those of the viewers watching who don't know about your legacy, can you give us a little rundown?
Yeah, it's a nice little family tree of Trojans. My grandfather, who was a great athlete himself, he coached football here at USC, and then my father followed him and played for him at USC.
Wow.
And then my dad also, like, he broadcasted for USC for a point in time, and my older brother played for USC as well.
What?
And we were like basically like apartment neighbors, which was really cute. And
I do remember that. Yes, I do remember
yes,
that.
my aunt went here as well, and it's just been like a great USC fam. I mean, my little brother's committed to UCLA for baseball.
Oh!
And my mom went to UCLA, but we don't talk about it.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about it.
We're family of
Forced
Trojans
Yes,
over here.
Was it like a no-brainer to come to USC? Like, what was that like process for you of like choosing where to go?
It was a no-brainer. I mean, I had my pick of the litter. I committed to USC when I was a freshman in high school.
What?
Yeah. So I
that's
freshman
unheard
in
of.
high
What?
school?
Yeah, so I played up, so I played a few
Right.
years older than my actual age group, which is why
Right.
I was getting looked at colleges, I guess, sooner than most. So I just knew, like, I was like, I'm going to choose a place where I know, like, this isn't going to change no matter how many years
Right.
I'm out, right? So it was something about the energy of the campus. I remember visiting, and although I was really young, I just knew that I wanted something close to home, and I wanted something that felt like me, and I'm so happy I made that choice.
That is so exciting.
Yes.
So how has your experience been now that you're at USC, now that you're living the dream? You know, you're a soccer player. I mean, you've known you were going to play here since your freshman year, but
I know.
actually being here, going through the day by day, how does that feel?
I mean, it's met every bit of my expectations. I mean, every time I scooted to the facilities to get back on another day of work, I'm like looking at the palm trees like, wow, like this is beautiful. I'm so blessed. And that's just the overriding consensus each and every year.
We love that.
Yeah.
So, you know, we all love it here at USC. We love having you here at USC.
Of course.
And not only are you, you know, an athlete, but you're a student athlete at
Yes.
that. You're a business of cinematic arts student. A lot of people don't even know what that is. So can you explain to the people watching, like, what is that? Is that a double major? Is that 2 majors at once? Marshall, SCA, like, there's so much going on. Explain it
is
to
a
us.
lot.
Break it down for us.
See, but I had a lot of time because I committed as a freshman. I was just like on the website, like, what you guys got? What you guys got? But that's why I love what you said, like, student athlete. I really pride myself on being multifaceted. That's why being here, like, at SCA in my school, like, I take a lot of pride in that, because a lot of times people just see you as the athlete, but I'm like, no, like, I do a whole lot of other stuff off the field, and it's nice, like, when people help me highlight that. But business and cinematic arts is basically a joint degree program, so you get a business degree and you get a cinematic arts degree, but it's a 4-year program that you apply to in high school. So I'm a high school senior, I'm applying, I'm like, I hope I get in. It reminds me of, like, a bit of my private school home life, because it's a cohort of 50 instead of, like, you know, like, great big grand school. And yes, I get that, but I also get my people in it, and it reminds me of home and, like, a smaller class environment. And the professors really, like, care for you, and they get to know you, and that's what makes it so special. So I love my business and cinematic arts. And I also, like, work both sides of my brain. Like, I got the finance, but I can also pitch you a movie.
Right. That's so exciting.
So it's nice. It's nice to have the best of both worlds.
That's so exciting.
How's that, like, balance for you? Because being a student athlete alone is, like, taxing. Like, that's like a, you know, that's like a full-time job.
Right.
And then being a student
is
is a whole nother full-time
job.
So, like, how's that balance for you?
It's honestly, like, it's an ever going process. There's no perfect solution. Some people are, like, big on, yeah, you gotta balance it. Some people are like, you know what, it's just gonna be like this for this period of your life, and you gotta put it in, you gotta put the time in, and it's just so you have no regrets when you look back up. But I always try to incorporate things for myself that I'm like, ooh, I take joy in this helps me be present, slow down. So I just instill those things into my everyday schedule. So, like, for example, today, Tuesdays are my movie day. I'm going to go to the movies by myself, and I'm going to watch a film, and I'm just going to let it sit there, and like, get all the candy and popcorn I want, and I'm going to do that for myself once a week. And it's little things like that that, like, help you get through the 6 a.m. wake-ups and the craziness of missing half the week for travel games. So it's things like that that keep you going. The balance is always so hard, because student athletes are like, I want it all, I'm a go-getter, so it's hard not to be able to have it all in each and every area. But I guess those little things that help you give a mental reprieve is what keeps you wanting to keep trying.
We love that.
Yeah.
And, you know, just being around you for so long, like, I've seen that you've been able to make it happen. Like, I've seen that you're a go-getter, you know.
You're sweet.
And it's so, like, it's so inspiring to see, like, my friends out there just, you know, doing big things. And I love that. So congrats. But with that being said, of course, we all have challenges that we face on a day-to-day, if not here and there. So what are some challenges that you face, and what advice do you have to other people watching who may be facing challenges right now?
Man, I faced too many. I stopped counting. But you eventually just start to get accustomed to it. Like, it doesn't become like a surprise factor. Like, it used to be like a shot to the heart every time I got knocked down. But now I'm just like, okay, like, it's just another Tuesday, you know. Like, it's not, doesn't really faze me. But I guess the biggest thing that you hear about athletes is injury, and it's injury not just because of the injury, but because of how it affects your everyday normal schedule. Like, a lot of times you get into, like, that comfort zone, and, like, the injury is what takes you out of that comfort zone. It takes you out of your regular life. You're watching instead of participating. So, like, the biggest injury for me was when I got hurt in the U20 Women's World Cup. And you guys know how long I've been in the youth national team system. I was like this 14-year-old girl that was like, World Cup, please, World Cup, please. So, like, that whole stretch, it was like I'm a dog chasing after a bone. And I finally got there to, like, everything that I had been working up towards post-COVID, post all the ups and downs. And I was injured on the biggest world stage, and it was like a shot to the heart. And I had so many different expectations of what I wanted to look like. That's what killed me before anything else did.
Right.
Like, it wasn't necessarily how hard the current present circumstance was. It was what played out in my head that wasn't my reality. So I guess advice to that would be, if I could go back in time, would be telling myself, like, you're still a great teammate, supporting your teammates on the bench, like, however, whatever capacity you can support, and it's how you add value versus, like, what you can get. So, like, I think that knowing when you're a taker and knowing when you're a giver is, like, the best thing, especially during injury. I had another injury this semester, so I think that's the biggest takeaway that I get from like hard circumstances.
How's your recovery going since your injury?
It's going great. I mean, I got back on the field and I'm tied with the most goals scored after being out for a month.
We love to hear that.
Not too much.
And like sometimes, like if people don't give you your props and your awards, like sometimes award season hits and you're like, darn. But it's just like, you know what? I did that. Like the stats say that. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Right. And as you should too.
Yeah, doing it loud and proud.
Absolutely. We love to hear it.
Yes.
That's so exciting. So, like you said, you've been able to balance the student athlete life pretty well. So can you tell us some of your favorite parts of being a student athlete?
Oh, I love this question. I feel like
y'all they have their own dining hall.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they have their own dining hall. That's crazy.
We might have to get a sneak peek so y'all can see what.
Yes.
But
Come on,
the highlight is honestly the people. I can't stress enough like how amazing like this USC community is. Like, and people in terms of like even last night, I'd say it was a big high. Like we have these things called athlete invite, which is basically parties, like a party at the end of the semester to celebrate us with athletes, and it's like. You see everyone finally off the season, finally taking a step out. Like, I disappear in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
so
she really does.
It's finally you pop out, you're wearing your best fit, you see all your athlete friends, and you guys are just dancing and having a great time. So that's the best part about it, really. Like, it's not like the goal scored or the accolades. It's the fun times with people you love.
I love that.
That is so cute. Okay, so talk about like the community, like, cause that's like, does USC like foster that for you guys? Like, how's like the relationship between the other athletes on campus? Like, what's the community like for you?
Most definitely. I think that the community is like ever changing, especially at somewhere like USC. Everyone wants to come. A lot of people switch out and change. So we have a lot of different like changes in coaching staff, changing in athletic directors and the works. But I feel like one thing that stays consistent is like them asking us, hey, what do we need to do to make sure you guys are having a great experience here? So I'm a part of the United Black Student Athlete Association, so I make sure our Black student athletes are safe and we're taken care of. So it's like those different affinity groups that we have in athletics is great, and the fact that they just take us to dinner and they're asking us, okay, what can we do better? And as soon as I hear that question, it's all great to me. Even if it's not all great, it's the fact that we want to keep building.
Right. That's amazing. And
yeah.
So, like you mentioned, you're real big on community with your association and also with the work that you're doing for the Coliseum Street Elementary School and the charity work, which we saw and we love. So can you give us, you said your mom works there?
Yes. So
give us some background and how that's going.
Honestly, it just came from a place I have always listened to stories about my mom talking about her work. And she's been in Los Angeles Unified School District for like 20 years now. And so I've heard all the stories, all the ups, all the downs. And she actually just got moved to be vice principal at Coliseum Street Elementary.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Which is 10 minutes down.
Right.
Like it's very close to USC. And I was like listening to all these stories and my heart was really going out to the kids. And I was looking at their recess equipment. So I was like, dang, like how can I help, however small? For something that like lies close to my heart, and however I can use my platform to help give, and I'm essentially doing one-on-one sessions with people that were once in my high school shoes looking to come to school at USC, and they can pick my brain for 30 minutes and donate to a good cause. So I feel like it's mutually beneficial.
I love that. That's so lovely. I definitely could have used a little mentorship help trying to get into USC, so that's exciting.
Because that's where it starts. It starts with the kids.
Precisely.
Right.
They're like the future.
Precisely. So I'm like, what would I would have wanted?
That's really exciting.
So like, what's like, because does legacy play like a big part in like your end goal? Like, how much do you think about legacy at USC in the future? What does the future look like for you?
I feel like legacy was such a big thing for me, especially in USC, because around the time that I committed, my dad unfortunately had a stroke. And no, it's okay, but it was like one of those like really eye-opening things, and the people that showed up at the hospital was his USC family. Like it was his family, but it was like USC family came in numbers, you guys. Like I'm telling you, and I never saw anything like it. That's why I was just like, my legacy, I want to make it at this school, and I hope to, I guess, just welcome everyone that's curious in. Like it's real. it's tangible, like they're there for you when you need it, and it's the most beautiful thing ever. I was like, as soon as you get family, like USC, like you're set.
For life.
Yeah.
Oh, we love that.
Aww.
No, that was so heartwarming. Absolutely. I feel like there's family from home and then the family that you make here at school.
Exactly.
Like, we're spending so much time together.
Exactly.
And just, like, being able to form such a strong bond that we can take with us. I feel like that's one of the best legacies that you can have.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
Okay, cool. So let's shift gears a little bit. We want to know a little bit more about Simone Jackson off the field,
Okay.
off campus
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
So, you know,
Now
we
you're
see,
talking.
right, we see that you travel like a
Yes,
lot.
I
Like
do.
every time I see my Instagram, it's like you was in Thailand.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about traveling, your relationship with traveling.
I mean, I when I was 15, I had never been out of the country until U.S. Soccer had a tournament out in Germany. So it was the first time I got a
That's
taste
so
of it.
exciting. Wait, we're in Germany.
Wetzlar. So I got to compete, and it was my first time out of the country. I was like, wow, like if this is what soccer can do, sign me up. Sign me up. So I fell in love with traveling. I went to Germany. I went to Thailand with USC's Marshall School of Business. So as soon as I kind of like did the whole U.S. Soccer, China, like Netherlands, Portugal, France,
Whoa,
like
whoa.
Sweden.
Another one.
That passport is stamped.
Yes.
Okay.
Come
It
on.
is stamped.
Exactly. So I fell in love with it, and then I tried it out on like the study abroad programs route. And USC athletics is great when it comes to like if it's your schedule, they'll let you go and all expenses covered. So it's amazing. So I'm like, shoot, free trip, sign me up again.
Right.
So
Right.
it's also like a great way to connect with a different group of people that you would have otherwise never known. And like I love like studying international business and how other cultures work in terms of like how U.S. trade relations kind of they're interesting. So like
For
it's
sure.
great to go out there and learn like hands on as well as just get out and explore the world. Like all we're gonna have is memories one day, and I want to have no regrets and say that I said yes.
Yeah. So speaking of memories, like what's your favorite memory traveling abroad? Do you have
Oh,
one
man.
that stands out?
Yes, actually the Thailand trip with my global leadership program, I made like a best friend there, and we were on elephants.
I saw that.
We were on elephants,
Was
y'all.
it scary?
No, it wasn't scary at all. It was like the most beautiful, wholesome thing I've ever done. And it's so funny that the first trip that I took that wasn't like soccer related, I wasn't like competing or like wanted something from it. I just went in just to explore and enjoy.
Absolutely.
It was the most amazing experience.
I'm good to hear
Love
that.
that.
Period.
So go book your flight
Right.
tomorrow.
Book your
Book
flight.
your flight.
Take USC's money because they have a lot.
They
to
have a
give.
lot.
Sign
Like,
up.
go ahead
for
and take
they-
advantage.
Yeah,
Right.
take advantage of it.
Absolutely. So not only do you like traveling, but we've seen that you love going to concerts too. You were at the Queen Bee concert.
Come on, Queen
Well,
Bee.
you know,
I won't lie and say I'm not jealous. Like, so how is that?
It's amazing. It's like I really felt so free. Like I felt it was like a no judgment space. I could just be me, and I didn't know like Beyonce's powers because I'd never seen her live. Like I knew she had powers, but when I got
But it's
there
different
and
in
I
person,
experienced,
yeah.
I can still like feel how free I felt in that moment. I was like, yeah, like, and that's exactly why I keep going. I'm going to Brent Fias tonight. I went to Alicia. I'm all for like adventure highs. That's me.
An experience.
Yes.
Love that. Period. So speaking of Queen Bee, excellent black women, Simone Jackson, excellent black women.
Too sweet.
Representation is so important because sometimes you have to see it to believe it, you know. And you've been able to attain so many of your dreams, and you've been such a great example thus far. But some people may not believe that their dreams are attainable. They may not believe that it's a possibility for them. So what advice do you have for them?
That's such a great question. I appreciate what you said. I think, like, it always goes back to my motto, which is something my dad always told me, is why not me? Like, why can't you be the one that gets into USC? Why can't you be the one that applies for the job and actually gets it? Why can't you be the one that writes a paper that goes viral or whatever it is that you want to do? Like, why can't you be the one that does it? And, like, I feel like sometimes, like, everyone has, like, imposter syndrome and all the works that kind of fights against you internally, but I think that applying and putting yourself up for it is 75% of the job. Like, you've
Right.
already done your piece just by saying, you know what, I think I'm good enough, and I think that I'm going to go for it. And I think that a lot of times we play the comparison game, especially with social media, in seeing, oh, well, this person did this, and then I did. So you're spending so much time, you know, like seeing all the people that have those skills that you want versus actually trying to go get the skills, or I guess fake it till you make it. So it's just, I think that it's really interesting in ways like there's studies where like women won't apply for jobs that they're underqualified for, but men will. Like,
Right, that's crazy.
9 times out of 10. So it's just like, I really encourage people to just go for it and to apply. Like, I trust me, like rejection isn't as bad as you think it is.
Right.
And like the no will only fuel you. So I guess my advice to them is that it's achievable if you put your mind to it. There's only so many times that people can tell you no before
That's so
before they A, realize your talent, or B, get so annoyed they give it to you. So
Right.
I think that Why Not Me has gotten me through so many things, and some of the goals that I've gotten now, I'm like, whoa, like I didn't think I was gonna get it at this age. Like signing to Nike, I didn't think that was ever gonna happen.
Man,
She just dropped that like that was casual.
on
Like,
it.
what?
Like I just like that was something I was just like, what? Like this was not in my 5-year plan, much less my 10-year plan. But like you just keep applying yourself, and sure enough.
absolutely, that's so big.
So next time, remember, why not me? Like
Why
that's,
not
like,
me?
why
I
not
really
me?
love that.
You
I
know?
love that motto.
Yeah.
I'm
You
a
can apply it to
definitely
pretty
use
much anything.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Our business, for my business class, we had to go outside, and it was an assignment to get rejected. Like we
I
had
had
to.
that same
you had
assignment.
that?
Yeah.
It was
Because
for an
it's so
entrepreneurship
scary.
class.
It's
Right.
so scary.
And it's a skill that you need because
Yeah.
you're bound to hear a no.
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
okay.
Yeah, but don't let that scare you away from
Right.
even asking.
Exactly. Period. So you just dropped a little bomb on us. You know,
Yeah.
we knew that. Maybe y'all didn't know that.
Some
But
slight.
Simone Jackson is absolutely a Nike athlete. So what were the emotions that were going through your body when you got the news? Run us through that, because
man.
I've been seeing you rocking Nike. You've been doing a great job.
You know, thank
Okay.
you.
Makes
Thanks
me
to all
wanna go out and
the
buy
it's
some
the threads. It's
Come
the
on.
threads. To be honest, like my mom has been like an instrumental piece in my soccer career as a whole. And she was the one driving me 2 hours of practice twice a week, like on the freeway post job. So it was just in the house, playing a bunch of music, dancing around the house with her in the living room was exactly what I did when I heard the news. And I think that will be a
I
forever
love that.
sweet memory, like the hugs and just knowing how proud I made my family is all I really care about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.
I mean, you mentioned your mom. Do you want to talk about your relationship with your mom and how she like kind of like fostered who you are today?
Oh man, yes, for sure. I mean, like, you know, like my dad was a major athlete in the family. He went here, but he actually also got his master's in finance here, so he was a student athlete too, you know, All-American. He was on his stuff, but my mom was like the educator, like she worked in it. So I think that she helped me a lot in, I guess, being this multifaceted person and knowing how to communicate and knowing how to speak up for myself and advocate. And I guess just that piece of me is able to like fight harder on all 4 fronts because I have the skills that she gave me. And every time I call her, it's just like problem solving, and she helps me with that. And
Absolutely.
I really love her.
I love that. Yeah, my favorite hobby is calling up my mom.
Man,
Like,
it calms you. It really
does.
does.
Absolutely. So, what does a day in the life of Simone Jackson look like? Let us know.
A day in the life. Oh man, I'm gonna give you my busiest one just to scare you.
Okay.
But it's usually not this bad, okay? So I wake up, let's say, it just depends on the day. It could be anywhere from like 6 to 7:15. And I quickly get dressed, get a little breakfast in me, and I hit the facilities to do a pre-training meeting. And we go to training, then I eat again. Because you know you gotta
feel the body,
stay
you
yourself.
know?
Fuel doesn't come from nothing. So then I quickly shower. I go to class. Mind you, our practice block is 7 to 11, and by the time that's done, I'm at class by 12. Another class at 2. Then I have another class from either 4 to 7 or from 6 to 10. And I'm an SEA, so of course we're gonna have those 3-4 hour type of classes. But because I love it so much, you know, the time kind of goes by a little bit faster, I guess. But it's honestly like I'm up and I'm at it from when I get up to when I put my head on the pillow, and you gotta find resourceful ways to multitask. But that's a day in the life, and I'm doing things like this and things that I love and I care about, and trying to give back in how I can in those little hours in between.
I love that.
Wow.
So what motivates you to like wake up every single day and go at it? Because those are long days.
Yeah, your head don't. You get back at 10 and you leave at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I mean, like, there's times where I'm just like, why? But I have, I guess, this vision board in my mind, and I scattered around my room and my iPad, and I keep reminding myself of like my favorite people. Like I love Ava DuVernay, I love Issa Rae, I love Dave Chappelle,
I love Issa Rae.
So I'll keep people like those types of people that I would love to have their impact and contribute to the spaces that they are in that way. So I keep that up, and I remain humbled under God, and I keep my purpose in and around me, just so when the days get tough, I have constant reminders.
So I'm sure when every morning when you wake up, you go to the facility, there's some perks there already that might be helping
I bet.
you, giving you some motivation. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
You know what? I can show you more than I can tell you. So
on.
Shoot, let's go!
Let's do it. And in the mornings, they'll have strawberry Nutella over there in that station. It just, they switch it up. They switch it up, and I love them for that. I really do. Wayne is my omelet guy. Shout out Wayne.
Shout out Wayne. You heard that. Shout out Wayne.
Anyways, yes, this is Athlete Dining Hall, for those that were curious.